Hey guys, I'm here at Don't Park on the Grass, day 2 with Prometheus Esports Bananas, who's had an absolutely insane year, rocketed up to possibly even top 20 in the rankings. Banana, how are you feeling about your year in general?
Really, I'm so satisfied with it. I was not expecting to go from 102 to possibly top 20 in 1 year, but but it just kind of happened, and so I'm just gonna roll with it.
That's sick. So you're one in a long line of Ices players who have had this breakout year, but we've seen those Ices players sort of fall off since then. You know, DizKid Boogie, Chudat, etc. Why do you think that is, and how do you feel about your chances going into 2019?
Well, for me, like, they always fall off, so if it's going to happen to me, it's going to happen. There's nothing I can do about it. It took down Chudat, and that man he's been around since the dawn of the dinosaurs. And then DizKid Boogie, Kyle is just the nicest person on the planet. So if this curse can take down them, I stand no chance, so I've accepted that. And if I survive, then I'm sick.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about your attitude. Also, sorry for the noise, guys. Spud is currently beating S2J as we speak, but I want to talk a bit about your attitude, because right before this, okay, so for a little bit of context, you had maybe the strangest set of Melee I've ever seen in my life earlier against Michael. First of all, take us through that set. Give us the play-by-play of what happened.
Okay, so game 1, I played, for a little bit of backstory, I played Michael at the National Arcadian, where I was seeded first, and I was the clear favorite to win that tournament. Yes. And then I played Michael, got timed out twice, and he just won the tournament without dropping a game. And I was like, oh, that was the worst thing I've ever played. And I really just don't like Jigglypuff. And so I saw that I was projected to play him, and I was like, okay, there was a part of me that was still hoping that was like, all right, he's going to approach this time. There's no way it's going to go to time twice. And so we started on Yoshi's instead of Battlefield this time, because I was like, smaller stage, it can't go to time. And a minute goes by, and there's like 30% on the board. And then another minute goes by, and my Nana's gone. And then another minute goes by, and I lose my first stock. And then 5 more minutes go by, and he has like 2.5, like he's like 50% on his third stock, and I'm like Sopo at 90 on my last stock, and it goes to time. And then game 2 happens, and I was really curious as to how long I could go without pressing a button or a direction on my controller, and see how long it would take for him to approach. And for 8 minutes, an entire game, I did not touch a single thing on my controller. I just held it, just to be ready in case he approached. He didn't. There was one moment where he feigned that he was gonna do a back air, and in my head I was like, "You're bluffing. You're not gonna actually commit to this. You're gonna double jump over me, and then you're gonna fade back." And that's exactly what he did. And I never felt so cool about not doing anything in my life. I just stood there. I didn't even flinch. I was like, if I get hit for this, I deserve to lose this game. And he didn't do anything. And then so we timed out with both of us had 0%, and so we had to do a 1-stock 3-minute game, and the TO tells us if this game goes to time and you're both at 0, you're both DQ'd.
Oh my god.
And in my head, I was like, I had already kind of given up hope of beating Michael today. Like I didn't feel it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and get us both DQ'd so nobody else has to play against Michael. And so I stood there for another 2.5 minutes and didn't do a single input. And at the 30-second mark, I made Michael 41 billion approach.
Oh my god.
So I got the moral victory.
You're a hero.
I tried to be the hero. I tried to save Rishi. Rishi, I'm sorry. I tried my absolute hardest. I literally was willing to get myself DQ'd for you. I tried, man. I'm sorry.
Dang. Okay, so that's why I want to ask you about your mentality. That was an amazing retelling, by the way. But I came up to you and I was like, "Hey, you want to do that interview we talked about?" And you went, "Yeah." And I went, "Oh, can we talk about the Michael thing? You know, I know if the trauma's not too fresh." And you went, "No, I'm happy." I asked you why, and you said, "Because I could either be happy or I could be sad, and I'm choosing to be happy." That's what every Ice Climbers player is like. Why is that?
I don't know. I think it's just kind of a coincidence that's seems to be an Ices thing. But I definitely had a stint about a year and a half ago where this Fox main Mojo lived in he lives in Texas. Yeah. He moved up to Dallas, and he was just thrashing me every single week and at all 4 of our weeklies. And I was super depressed after every single tournament. I would be so sad. I would be driving home and I would be so mad and sad. And I was like, man, this is making Melee really unfun, and I want Melee to be fun. And so I took a break for like a week because I really wanted to play. I was like, all right, I'm going to take like a 2 or 3 week break. And then after a week, I was like, okay, I just want to fucking play Melee. But like in that time, I just sat and I thought about it, and I was like, I don't know what, like something just clicked, and I reached like a much generally happier state of mind.
Wow.
And I really don't know what it was, but now like I feel like after a set, I obviously still get disappointed when I lose, and I'm still like not upset, but I'm disappointed that I didn't win the Michael set because I'm a competitor. I'm trying to win these sets at the end of the day, but I can't win every single set. That is just fact. And so I can either be sad and not enjoy the rest of what's been an awesome tournament after I lose, or I can take a few minutes, like go through what happened and get over it and enjoy myself and enjoy this wonderful trip I'm on and this amazing opportunity I've been given.
That's so sick, dude. You're sick. Okay, do you think that mentality has helped you in competition too?
A lot, yeah. Because when you have this mentality of losing is death, then every set gets so stressful and you forget to look at why you started to play in the first place. You're only focused on winning the set, winning this tournament. And in the Michael set, for example, like game 3, I was like, okay, I can just do that same thing again. I can just sit here for another 8 minutes, but I was like, no, I play Melee because Melee is fun, so I'm going to try and approach. And I got bodied, but I was like trying to have fun while I was doing it, and I wasn't upset about that because I was doing everything I could to do what I wanted to do. And I think that's just a good way to live life, and it helps in Melee. You just have fun.
So it's really interesting that you managed to hold yourself off for 8 minutes from approaching, because when you beat Mango and M2K at Summit, the commentators were popping off over the fact that I think in those 2 sets combined, you got like 4 wobbles, maybe in total, right?
Yeah, I think I wobbled Mango like 3 or 4 times, but I only wobbled Mewtwo King twice.
Yeah.
And one was on the Peach and one was on the Marth. And so, like, I think that was just a matter of circumstance because I don't really, like, have a bunch of traps like an Ice Block trap or a Blizzard trap for this specific wobble. I don't really, like, look for those in neutral. I just kind of take them as they come, right. But I just kind of run at people and try and hit them in neutral.
Right, so everyone on there was like, oh my god, Bananas is crazy. He's a smash attack ice climber. You think that description is apt for you?
Extremely. It's called Super Smash Brothers. That's how the game is meant to be played. You're supposed to smash attack people. That's what Daddy Sakurai wants. So that's how I play.
Sakurai wants smash attacks and wobbling.
Maybe not the wobbling, but I do more smashes than I do wobbling. I can promise you that. And every wobble ends with a smash attack. So wobbling is, in theory, the heart of Smash Brothers. You just have to look at it for a half second and then not think about it anymore. Whoa.
Wow. Oh, man, the lights went down. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We'll keep going. We'll keep going. Okay, so they've also said, this is a long-winded question, but they also said there, oh, you know, he does this because he's influenced by Wobbles, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, I think that's sort of true, but not entirely true. First of all, how do you feel about that? Am I just wrong? And then secondly, do you feel like Ices players are more prone to getting pigeonholed into the Smasher, the Wobbler, et cetera?
For the first part, it's a little true because Wobbles is in my region. I like, as a baby Ice Climbers player, I grew up watching Wobbles in like both in tournament sets and at locals, and he taught me so many things, and so I definitely drew a lot of like how I play even subconsciously from Wobbles, but I never like tried to mimic Wobbles. I never tried to do I wanted to play exactly like him. I like was inspired by a few of the things he did, but ultimately I never wanted to be like a specific player. I just wanted to play, and it ended up turning into my own unique style that happens to be extremely smash attack heavy. And I do think that it's easy for ice climbers to get pigeonholed, like you said, because the different styles of ice climbers are so noticeable. It's very apparent that I'm not doing like a Blizzard setup and an Ice Block setup, that I'm just fucking down smashing like a madman and doing these weird, strange down airs that no other ice climber does.
Yeah, no, really.
And so it's very apparent that I'm doing those because you don't see a whole lot of Ices. So when one of them does something different, like when Army goes for his specific wobble traps and wobble setups, and when DizKid and Nintendude, they're very B-move heavy ice climbers. They use a lot of Ice Blocks and Blizzards and rollback Blizzards, and then they throw them the Nanopulp Blizzards. Those styles I think are way more apparent with ice climbers than they are with other characters.
Okay, so that was actually, I did want to know the answer to that question, but it was also a trick question to lead into my next one.
Oh shit.
Because here's the thing. So this is a little behind the scenes, guys. Bananas and I started doing this interview yesterday, and then my camera died halfway through because I'm an idiot. And I've been asking some same questions, formatted a little differently. But I was really hoping Bananas would give me a lot of the same answers because he's had a lot of really good turns of phrase. Like, it's called Smash Brothers, you smash, and he's said them exactly the same all the time. Now, this leads into what I really want to ask, which is, you were the best actor at Summit by a far mile. Do you have acting experience?
I did high school theater and then nothing after that. So I think part of what it was is that all of the other Smashers are just such bad actors that I was very okay and looked amazing by comparison.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what it was, because I literally only did high school theater and I've done nothing else. So
I'm a big proponent of high school theater. I also did high school
fun.
theater. So that I think that you're one of the first Ices players who people have really had like a positive feeling about in the general, just like Smash audience. I feel like people sort of root for you to win sometimes.
Yeah.
What's that like?
really fucking weird. It's so strange because, like, as an Ice Climbers player, you're ready to get rooted against. You're ready to get, like, everything you do hated. And when you do something cool, it's like, oh, whatever. He probably just wobbled the next stock.
Yeah.
And so, like, the only two Ices before people started, like, lumping me in there were Wobbles and Fly. Everyone talked about how cool Wobbles and Fly were. And every time they played, everyone always roots for them. Like, even if it's against players that they really like.
Yeah.
And I've had so many people, like, lump me into that group of, like, it was Wobbles and Fly, now it's Wobbles, Fly, and Bananas. And that is the weirdest thing to hear. Because 4 years ago, me, when I started playing, would have just flipped out, been like, oh my god, you're comparing me to Wobbles? Like, no. And now it's like, it's just happening, and like, I don't know how to process it sometimes.
That's super sick. So with this crowd support behind you, with you likely taking an extremely high rank on the 2018 MPGR, what are your goals for 2019?
Just keep doing what I'm doing. Like, I want to just keep playing, keep having fun, keep improving, because I felt like, especially in this last half of the year, I've been having way more fun with Melee, but I've also, like, been very consciously improving. Like, I feel like I'm able to just, if I close my eyes and envision Melee, I'm able to, like, take a further step back and just see it a bit wider. And that's how I've always felt about my improvement. It's like I get to see a little more of the game and a little more of the game, and I felt like I've been able to see so much more in these last 6 months. And so I just want to keep improving and having fun.
Okay, that's sick. Last question. Which end do you peel a banana from?
The top.
Which is that end?
It's the end that you peel it from the bunch. It's like where it's connected to the bunch of bananas. Like, I know that the scientific answer is to peel it from the bottom. But you know what? You see how many smash attacks I do? I just go for it. Half the time I don't even, like, I can't even peel it open, so I just, like, kind of tear it open from the middle. I just, like, get it working on the top, and then kind of, like, not. So you know how, like, when a banana won't open and you have to, like, kind of, like, tear it open from the top?
Yeah.
I find myself having to do that a lot. I guess I'm really bad at opening bananas, but that's what I end up having to do a lot. So the top of the banana is always kind of smushed, and then I have to, like, get to, like, halfway through the banana before it actually peels back. It's a bit of a struggle.
Listen, I've liked this interview a lot, but I might have to cut my losses here. Any last words you want to say before we finish?
I mean, thank you for doing this both times. It's been a lot of fun. I love talking about Melee. It's a good time. Thanks to everyone who has, like, given me that support. Like, it means the world to me, and it's so unexpected and, like, unnecessary, but there's been so much support and love flowing my way, and it just warms my heart so much. So thank you. Oh, you're right. Shout-outs to Prometheus. Thanks for the subtle plug. And they're honestly one of the people that have been, like, giving me this love and support. They've been able to get me out to so much, and they've, like this entire last 3 or 4 months, barring Summit, has, like, all been Prometheus. So huge thanks to Prometheus. I love Griffin and Jeremy. They've been great guys to be on a team with. Face Rolling Squid. They've been awesome. Snowy, Steve. That whole team has been just wonderful.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing the interview. I really appreciate it. Guys, sorry about the lighting situation. I'll try to fix that in post if I have time, but if not, hey, it's just like you're here at the tournament with us. Thanks so much for watching. For more of this content, make sure to follow Cheddar Sports on Twitter. Thank that to them for sending me out. Twitch.tv/Cheddar, 3 times a week, Monday, Thursday, Friday, 5 to 6 p.m. Watch Cheddar Sports. I'm on there and I talk about Melee and other esports. So thanks so much. And for more Smash content, stay tuned to this channel. Thanks, guys.